Here's a locomotive I picked up from eBay. It says Eurostar, the number 3211. I believe it's a power car for the Eurostar train. Underneath it's got a plate that says Jouef. If I can get it right way around. Yep, it says Jouef just in there. This is supposed to be a power car, so let's get it on some track and see what happens. Hi there YouTubers, welcome to a double low gauge servicing video from sort 6233. So I've put my Eurostar onto some track and apply some power, and it's trying to go, but a bit sugary. Okay, I think the next thing, get the case off, we'll have a look. Seem to be two screws in the under chassis, one here, one here. So it seems the best thing to do is try and remove them. That one is slack. And this one, not much better. So move these out of the way, and hopefully this should allow access to the workings. Certainly something happening. Okay. And there we have a central motor, single drive shaft to this bogie here. What I'm going to do is see if I can disconnect the drive shaft. Oops. This part of the drive mechanism simply unclips from the cradle. That allows removal of the drive shaft, and now the motor is isolated. So let's try and fit it on the track and apply power again. And there. Each bogie is fitted with pickups. One there, and a voltage up, and it's running perfectly well. So obviously we've got lubrication in the bearings. It's okay. Yeah, sorry, it was just me. Anyway, so this looks pretty good. Obviously, when I get around to it, I'll lubricate the front and rear bearings. So it suggests maybe a sluggishness in the bogies. Perhaps just needing a simple strip down, clean, lubricate and rebuild. The bogie is held in place by this little clip over a little pip in the mainframe. So if I just gently prise that up, then the bogie should release. Gently up we come, there we go. And I will do the same with this here. That looks a bit slack, there we go, there and there. So this is the main drive bogie, drive cog at the front, and that's very stiff. So obviously get the mechanism cleaned, lubricated, back up to normal, and I'll do the same with the rear trailing pony. Step 1, isolate the bogies carefully. I can tell which side the drive bogie goes on by the position of this cam. So, leave this aside for the time being. So with exceptional care, I located these two lugs that fit through the main chassis to hold the assembly together, and that releases the wheels, which are clipped in. So that should just unclip. Good. And similarly here, and I notice the presence of what looks like factory grease in here. So that's that there. Then there's some pickup arms which I can remove and get that all cleaned up. Okay, so let's see where that goes. Removing the pickup arm assembly, I have to unclip it from two holding points in there. I'm using my craft knife to slide underneath. Pickup arm like so to ease it away from the retaining clips, and then hopefully that should slide up out of the crate, the bogie casing, and they are in pretty gungy looking condition. So this is now a single molded piece which I can get cleaned up, and I'll get some Brasso into these, wheels cleaned up, so just everything all needing cleaned. Good, so let's leave that aside. And I'm now going to do the same for the power drive bogie. Using the fine screwdriver, first of all in here, then in there, and that separates the bogie. Again, look at all this gunge here, and that looks like, yep, our big problem. A gear wheel split in two on this drive axle. So that's one thing I need to get. So let's get the rest of this out. And like so, and I think it'll be a visit to Peter's Spares. Will that just come out as well? Let's see, probably does. Yep, so that's the drive axle out with the 1 screws, and again a lot of old grease to contend with. And now finally, oops, pick up arms, slide in there, ease it up, oops, and that's out there, and similarly here. There, come on, missed. And again, this is a complete assembly with the coupling hook, and they're all done for cleaning. So this is my big problem, is getting a new, this time 1-piece gear wheel. First of all, as promised, I'm going to lubricate the bearings of the motor. I'm not going to try and strip this down, have a look at brushes, because it's a sealed can. So let's have a wee listen and see what happens here. Oops, trying to get a connection there, and there. And it's very quiet, you can hardly hear it. You can see there, it's going well. first step out of the way. The other thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of lubricant into the shaft receiver. Good. It's time to reassemble the front pilot bogie. First of all, the contacts, they slide down to the side of the chassis with the solder contact on the inside, and they kind of get woven around these two pillars in there, round there, push down, whoops, missed it, and in it goes. We'll ease it into its housing, and it should clip at the bottom of this recess. And there we have it. And it forces the pickup arms out towards the back of the wheels. So let's repeat the process with this other pickup. Weave it round these pillars in there and round, oops, come on, there. Then ease it down the side of the bogie frame. Come on, keep going, there we go. And it should click into place when it reaches the nether regions. Like so. So that's the pickups fitted. Now I'm going to fit the wheels. These of course are the non-powered axles. They clip into the axle bearings, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of grease to each of the bearings, there and there, being careful that the pickup arms are seated behind the wheels before I clip them into place. I'm trying to do that there, in, and this one in there, and yep, that should go like in there. And just check the pickup arms are behind the wheels, so I think that's good there. And then repeat the process for the other wheel axle. Yep, it's as simple as that. Making sure that sits in there. It isn't. It's in there. And this one's in there. That's good. Good, 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 good. I'm just checking that they're all there. Excellent. Nothing else to do except put this bottom plate on. And I don't remember which way it goes. This way. Because there's a back plate here which fits inside. The two prongs fit through the chassis and they should click into place. Yeah, so that's the first bogie up and ready to go. Right, do the same with the drive bogie, which is slightly more complex because I have to fit all the drive mechanism. Okay, so there is two drive wheels, one for each axle. So I need to try and remember which one goes where. I think because there's a long one here with two things there. Oh yeah, right. The shorter one will go on top, driving the main drive underneath, so I can keep this one till later on, and this one comes in here, just simply sits in there, and ease them into their supports, which of course I need to grease. That goes in there. And there. Yep, and some grease onto the gears themselves. I'm using petroleum jelly. It's my favourite grease lubricant. Yep. And now it's time to fit the new drive axles. No, it's not, because I got to fit the pickup arms, same as I did in the other bogie. So let's take this in here, solder tab to the inside, that goes in there, this is in here, and that should just ease into the casing. There we go. Gently does it all the time, every time. Solder tab on the inside, that's it. There. And there. Slightly out of alignment. Try and ease it along. There we go. Pickup arms fitted, and now we can fit the new drive axles. Again, some grease into the bearing housing. There. 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 Yep. Again, checking that these pickup arms sit behind the wheel before I push it all the way home. And they do seem to require a little bit of pressure. I'm always kind of worried about breaking the plastic. And that should turn, yep. And the other one, which I've taken out and it's rolled away somewhere. Yep. No, I hadn't taken it out. In there, pickup arms at the back, pickup arms at the back, and click once and twice. Yeah, looks good. And now for and it runs nice and smoothly. And the base plate in there, in and down over the whole thing, two pillars through the casing, click in place. Of course this won't run freely. The new wheels come with traction tyres fitted, so I don't need to worry about new ones there. Now I'm going to leave this until I put this into the chassis, because it will then allow me to fit the drive shaft into the motor casing. The front bogie fits over the support, and you just see the pivot pip, so that clicks in place, and a little bit of grease over there would help, I'm sure. That swivels okay. I'll wire the leads shortly. I'm going to fit the drive bogie. A bit of grease on there. And again, this should just slip over there and click firmly in place. And now I can build the rest of the drive shaft. Fits into the motor cup. Yep. And in here I'll just apply some grease as well. Over the other end of the dry shaft, and then that should sit nicely over there. Again, just a little bit of grease on the bearing housings, and that should fit there. And when I drop that down, it should engage with the lower drive. And now let's see if the wheels will turn. Yep, and they feel quite free. Oh, sorry, quite free. So far everything is looking fine. So now I'm going to wire up the pickups to the pickup wires to the pickups. Connecting the wires to pickups, first of all, just a little bit of tinning on the wires, there and there, and the slightest tinning on the pickups. Being careful that I don't touch the plastic housing with a soldering iron. Yep, I got away with that one. And blue wire to the negative side. In other words, on the left side as it moves forward. And the red wire to the positive side, which is right as it moves forward. Hopefully. Yep, looks okay. So just drain the wires around there. Oh, this one didn't work. Try again. And there. Oops, come on. There we go. Away with that one. This and there. This and there. Make sure the wires stay out of the way. That way, it's a bit long, so I'm just going to feed it round the stem, round the pillar, just to keep it out. No, I won't. Right. Anyway, that's it done. So now I think we're ready to put it on the track and see if we can get this to run. This is where I say, silly me, I've made another mistake. You can probably hear the motor running, and you just put my finger on there, you can feel it running, and that power is actually coming from the pilot bogie, because if I lift the pilot bogie off the track, the motor stops. Put the pilot bogie back on, the motor turns. Keep this bogie on the track and lift the motor, still turning, but this bogie is not providing any pickup. Why, silly me? Well, let me show you. I mentioned that the axles came with traction tyres. And then it suddenly hit me, why have traction tyres on a pickup wheel? And I think that what should be the case is that this wheel, the traction tyres should be on one side, and on the other wheel, the traction tyre should be on the other side. Yeah? Okay, Let me get that done. And now, oops. Now just using the power bogie as pickup, you can see the motor's running. My own fault, I should have tested it earlier. So a quick test, lifting up the power bogie, the front bogie still supplying power. Now lifting up the pilot bogie, relying on the drive bogie, it's still running, notwithstanding my poor track. Right, that's good. Now let's finish the build. I want to see if this works, so it should move from your right to left. It does without any trouble. Stop it there before it leaves the track and it comes back again without any trouble. This chassis is too long to fit on my shuttle cutout. I've got one of it here, little diode to stop it going too far that way, but the rear pickup keeps it going. So anyway, that's running very smoothly. I'm quite pleased the way that's turned out. So I've actually got a Eurostar locomotive, very cheaply, all it needed, a couple of drive axles which are pretty reasonably priced, I believe, and now I'm going to put the casing back on. It's not really endowed with clips or anything. I think the important point is making sure that this pillar here and here match these two screw pillars in the top of the casing. So I'm just going to fit that gently in there. Yeah, and then make sure that these line up. That looks okay. I can just see through the hole and I see the screw pillar, and gently bring the two parts together. And I should manage to get that to drop down there, there, and maneuver it. Whoops! Right, I'll try again. Yep, that looks about right. The casing tends to fold round the chassis, so it's kind of narrower at the bottom than it is further up. So I'm just trying to gently maneuver this in. There we go, there. Similar here. Slide it in that way, that way. Again, I'm always trying to do it carefully without any force. And that looks good. Now, fit the two screws in and it should all be hunky-dory. If I can remember where I left them in this little box. One drop down there and the other one drop in here. Right. That's cut. That's cut. Tighten and tighten. So let's see it go for real. Lovely. Oops. Okay, so that's up, back and running. I'm quite pleased with that. Now, I do have one other issue which I would like to address, and that is the pantographs. When I got this locomotive, it did not have fitted pantographs, but the seller provided these two here. Now, I believe that the model should have what appears to be two pantographs working in tandem. They're both gone, so perhaps someone purchased these thinking that they might be suitable. However, the fittings here, which are two prongs, don't have any location holes in the top. So my question is, should I go to the trouble of achieving the correct pantographs, or should I just sell it as it is and let somebody else do it? Because I don't have a catenary system and very few other people do. The other issue I have with that is that there isn't any wiring inside to take power from here. So that may have been modified, I don't know. But I do notice that here, you probably can't see it, but that is a hinge. There are two holes there as if there's a hinge bar should sit through. I'll see if I can get a pantograph. If it's easy enough done, I might just go ahead. If not, well, I'll sell it as it is. Well, once again, thank you for watching. I hope that came across all right. Reasonably straightforward repair. Once I got it stripped down and discovered the broken axle gear. Peter spares again come out the top with very fast delivery. Good clean, lubricate, put it all together, and it's a fairly simple repair, which is good for me. The locomotive itself, you feel that it could have been enhanced by a light somewhere at the front, but there doesn't seem to be a facility. Certainly I don't see any power coming to the pantograph, so this could just have been a dummy for display. And the other thing is I don't have any further coaches to attach to the coupling hook. But maybe if I put it on eBay, somebody might need it as a spare loco. Perhaps theirs isn't working. I'm not sure. Anyway, no point me holding on to it. I don't have a double layout. As I said, thank you for watching. Please like, comment if you can, favourably. And if you like to see more train repairs, please subscribe. So, until I see you again, and for the rest of 2025, I hope everything goes well. I'm planning to do a few more videos. Take care everybody, take care of yourself, take care of others, and most of all, keep training. Bye for now.